Fasters. Welcome to this episode of Old, Fat, and Fasting. I'm Lori, and this is my sister, Krista. We are old, we are fat, and we are fasting, and we both fast for weight loss and for health.
Can you hear my creaky chair?
No?
Okay, good. Because I rock sometimes, but it creaks. Okay.
You can rock. But you know, my speaker is down here in the hard drive and not up here yet, so I can't hear it.
Okay. I'll try to be still.
Better you than me. Our son moved from North Carolina to Illinois back at the beginning of August. And on our drive from North Carolina to Illinois, we stopped by to see my family. And yay! During the whole time, from the time we left, well, even before we left home, from the time we left home up until, I'll have to write down the date and fill it in here. The date that we went on vacation, we stuck with OMAD religiously, whether we were in the car or at our mom's house and dad, or moving Andrew into Illinois. We stuck with OMAD the entire time. And I was pretty proud of ourselves because that can be hard to do when you're on the road.
Yes, it can. Definitely. And before you came, Mom had talked to me about, we've talked about how people don't understand fasting, right? So a lot of times their first reaction is not a supportive one. And not that Mom wasn't supportive.
Just worried.
Mom has always been supportive, but yeah, she didn't fully understand what's OMAD and when are they going to eat and what do they eat and what don't they eat. And, like any mom would, when she's got her kids coming to visit, she wanted to make food for you all. And she wasn't really completely sure what to do.
Right.
So, and I think one night while you were there, she even asked, what is one meal a day? That doesn't seem like you're fasting if you're eating one meal a day.
Right.
Right. And so you and I got the chance to explain that to her. And I kind of felt like, not just for her, but for a few people while you were visiting, it was sort of an opportunity to educate people on what fasting is.
It was. I really enjoyed it when people would ask questions. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. And there was, I did pretty good while you all were there. We'll talk later about what happened once you left, but
you were really, really good.
Well, I even didn't eat one time while everybody else was having dinner. So I was really proud of myself. And while during that time, somebody asked me, Krista, are you going to eat? And I just said, no, I'm not hungry. And so I felt like that was another one of those little teaching opportunities. And I think that was another thing where for Mom, I think she even commented and said, I guess fasting does make you not hungry as often. And I said, yeah, that's true.
And I think that's a two-part process. One, your stomach shrinks, obviously, and you just can't eat as much, but you have retrained your body to, I'm always used to eating at 1 o'clock. So your stomach is going to growl at 1 o'clock, that ghrelin thing. And you just untrain that muscle. I don't know if it's a muscle, but we'll call it a muscle.
Yeah. I mean, part of why fasting works and why it's sustainable long-term is it does balance some of your hormones.
Yeah.
And once they're balanced, then you don't feel as hungry as often as you used to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think you also learn that, like right now, yeah, I feel a little hungry, but it's not like, man, I got to eat something.
And it will pass.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to backtrack for a second about you fasting when other people were eating around you and give you a kudos, because not only did you not eat when the rest of us were eating, you didn't eat when you were helping us cook.
That's true.
Because we made the gluten-free, carb-free pizza while we were there, and you didn't eat any of that. So that's, bravo.
That's true. And um, that's one thing I don't have a problem with. I know a lot of people do, is like, how can you fix food for other people and you don't get hungry? And the best way I know to explain that is, I think there's a lot of emotion attached with food, right? So you get
Yeah.
excited about what you're seeing or whatever. And I just kind of mentally turn that off. I'm making food, but it's just something I'm doing. I'm not thinking about, oh, this is going to taste like this. And,
Right.
so yeah. And that's another one of those, just, it's a learning experience, something it's a muscle you have to train.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
it's an on-off switch. Now
Yeah.
I can do that on looking at food, but sometimes smelling cooking food is
Yeah.
that's a different level.
Yeah.
It's a different
Yeah.
level. I my muscle is strong. I go through it,
Yeah.
but that's a totally different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since our trip, our visit there, Mom has told us that she is fasting for health.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a good thing. That's a whole, anybody that's new to fasting, it isn't just or only weight loss.
No.
You can continue eating certain ways and just get the health benefit health of fasting, and
Yeah.
you won't lose weight.
Right.
You can do it just for the health benefits, and there will be other episodes on that, and I think we have a couple out there already that touch on that topic, if I recall correctly. 2-week break. My brain hasn't it purged a little bit. I probably need to read over some things again.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about it too much so far, but what she's doing, I think, is she's not eating from breakfast to dinner. And I think they eat dinner at like 7, and they probably eat breakfast like 8ish.
Yeah.
So she's going about 12 hours. And, I feel like some people would think, well, 12 hours, what's the big deal? Is that really worth it? But absolutely, it's
Absolutely
worth it.
is.
I mean, I think that anytime you can give your body a rest from digestion, is beneficial for you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely is. And it's a great starting point or a great staying
Absolutely.
point, whatever it is people are looking to do. If taking one step,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. And I haven't added it up, but I told her, if you add up those hours from breakfast to dinner that you're not eating, plus the 7 or 8 hours overnight that you're not eating,
Yeah.
that's what, 20 hours a day that you're not eating? I mean, that's awesome.
That is very awesome. And a lot of health benefits to that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like I said, we stuck with OMAD from the time that we left home from North Carolina to Kentucky, Kentucky to Illinois, Illinois to Kentucky, then Kentucky to Florida, which is where this portion comes from, vacation.
Yeah.
Our son moved, and we just that's the third kid to move out. And so it was a whole new thing. And we were like, let's take a vacation, which is something we're always looking for an excuse to do. We just didn't want to come home to an empty house.
Yeah.
So we decided to go from Kentucky to Florida and hopped on a cruise. And cruises are so much cheaper than people think they are.
Yeah. I mean, they're cheap enough that you and I are talking about doing one, and I am like the cheapest person. I mean, when you
Yes.
first said that, I was like, there's no way I can do a cruise. But then I actually started looking at it, and yeah,
Yeah, I've said before, I think, and I was one of those people before we started looking at cruises. I was like, oh my gosh, cruises, that's got to be a $10,000. No, no,
yeah,
people, please get out there and price cruises. I told Krista I was hesitant to talk about details of the vacation because I was afraid it would make me sound snooty or something. So we just decided we would say cruises aren't that expensive. So
yeah,
the story I'm getting ready to tell did not cost a fortune. So
right.
so our cruise, we drove from Kentucky to West Palm Beach and hopped on a cruise there. And it's just the boat goes slow. It's actually, you can take a 2 hour ferry from Florida to Nassau or Florida to somewhere in the Bahamas. It's a 2 hour ferry ride. So this cruise, they go extra slow, but it's an overnight cruise. So I'm looking down to get my times here. Um, it was just, we were only on the boat long enough for a dinner that night and a breakfast the next morning. And we didn't do breakfast, but for dinner, we did steak and a salad, but we did enjoy the bar. And people that watched previous episodes know how I love my coconut mojitos. So we had those. And then our Bahamas stay it was an all inclusive, which we've never done. This was actually called a cruise and stay. You know, every cruise we've been on before, you're in port for a few hours, then you're back on the boat and you go someplace. So this was the first time we've stayed overnight in a port. And it was all inclusive, which paid for the cruise, 3 meals a day, whether you ate 3 meals a day or not, and all of your alcohol. It truly was all inclusive. So there was no out of pocket. So since we paid for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'll give all of my weight in just a second, but we enjoyed every meal. We enjoyed every bite. We enjoyed every sip. We did not get anything. Well, I don't want to say that. Most of what we ate is not something you could get at home. Like we didn't eat ice cream because we can get ice cream at home, but we ate coconut cinnamon French toast for breakfast and seafood chowder and all of these things. And I'll talk about a salad I fell in love with, such a simple salad, but I had it every day. So yes, we did eat everything, but only things we couldn't eat at home, and a lot of coconut mojitos. The day we left was to come to Kentucky was on August 8th, and my weight was 158.2. We got home the night of 8/23, August 23rd, and I didn't weigh that night because I know I weigh more at night and I didn't want that much guilt. So I waited until the next morning. So on the morning of August 24th, I was 169.4. And I had texted Krista saying I'm going to be up easily 15 to 20 pounds. So I was thrilled to find out that I was up 11.2.
Yeah.
The next day I was down 1.8. And then the next day I was down a total of 3.5. And then this morning I'm down a total of 4.9. I think 4.9 pounds in 4 days is pretty good. We've been doing OMAD since we got home. I am 6.3 pounds away from where I was before we came to Kentucky.
Very good. And if you keep up this rate, you'll have that off in the next week.
Yeah, I'm guessing by next Friday I should be back down. We've been doing OMAD since we got home. And I'm going to do, I know it sounds stupid to do a video or on salads, but I'm going to do a real quick video sometime in the next 3 days on these. That's all we're eating. I buy these big containers of lettuce and other odds and ends, and we just keep these prep salads in the refrigerator, and all we do is add dressing. So easy peasy. We've done episodes before on making sure that the food is easy grab and go.
Yep.
We did have, what I said, we got home the night of 8/23. We did have Chinese delivery. I know that's jumping on the phone. But we got home late. We had purged all our groceries, the healthy foods in the refrigerator before we left. That's the excuse I'm going to stick with of why we ordered Chinese delivery. And for those that don't know what I mean when I say jumping on the phone, when you drop your phone, pick it up. When you drop your phone, you don't have to step on your phone to make it worse. So when we say stepping on our phone, we mean that maybe we made bad things worse. But hey,
Well, and I think that the fact that that weight is coming off so easily is another good example of that weight you gained was not fat,
Some of it
right?
was.
You didn't get, okay, maybe some of it was.
Now,
But
we
most
didn't
of
have a
it,
single, we did not have a single dessert.
oh, that's good. That's good. Um, so most of that weight that you gained was probably water. I mean, the alcohol contributes to that weight gain. Um, but it's not, that's why it's so easy for you to take it off, because it wasn't 11 pounds of fat.
Yeah, I'm trying to think while you were talking. We made some bad choices
Mhm.
knowingly, I mean,
Right.
good heavens, people, when you travel, when you go on a trip, please enjoy the food.
Yeah.
Please enjoy the food. I cannot get coconut French toast in North Carolina, so I'm going to get that when I'm on
Yeah.
vacation. But
Yeah.
we did they bring bread with dinner, and
Mm.
we did eat bread because, oh my goodness, their butter, it's butter, honey, and coconut cream all mixed
Ooh.
into the, yep, okay, not a fasting topic. But we did eat bread with dinner, but we made not terrible decisions. I mean, fried conch, you can't get that here. So
Right.
we did have, anyway,
Yeah.
we did good sometimes and not so good other
Yeah.
times.
But the stuff, like you said, the stuff that you did splurge on was stuff that you can't get in North Carolina. And to
Yeah.
me, that kind of stuff it's part of the vacation experience, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And in the life in the fasting lane, they say when you travel, enjoy the food, because that's
Yeah.
half of the trip is
Yeah.
enjoying the culture's food. And boy,
Yeah.
it's so very, very good.
Yeah.
So very good. One thing I started noticing towards the end of the trip were that my knees were getting sore again. And I know that when I cut out gluten before, my knees and my hips got better.
Right.
And fasting, along with a gluten-free diet, made that just completely go away. My knees and hips have been bothering me. I have been
Yeah.
spending more and more time with a heating pad on my knees, and even putting one under my hips when I lay down in bed to watch TV at night. So it's better than it was when we got home. And I'm sure Steve has pointed out to me when I told him it was hurting, he's like, yeah, it seems like when you cut out gluten, it took about 2 weeks,
Mhm.
for it to get out of your system. So
Yeah.
back to no gluten, back to fasting. It's better on day 4 than it was, at the end of all of that. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry I keep whispering my head. The ceiling fan's on. It keeps making my hair tickle my face.
Oh, it's all right.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.